Hi guys, James's Car Craze here and welcome back to another video. Today I have the amazing all-new facelifted version of the latest Mercedes A35 AMG. Yes, this car does bear the AMG name badge. This is, without going to the A45, this is as mean as the A-Class gets, especially with all those nice black spoilers and splitters on there as well. Biggest noticeable difference between the pre-facelift version is you see on the lower part of the bumper there, you've got the redesigned lower bumper, which sort of looked like a Stingray's fins when they sort of go like that. That's the best way I could describe it. Let me know if you could describe it any better way. I've got it in this lovely dark red. I can't remember what the official Mercedes colour is, but it's a really nice dark red. It really makes those black spoilers, the black wing mirrors, the black wheels stand out. Obviously other colours are available. I think it looks quite mean in yellow as well. Obviously the yellow and the black, that looks really good. But I've got the red version on as a demonstrator today. I'm going to give you a very quick exterior tour of the vehicle, but obviously, as you know, my videos are known for detailed interior infotainment systems. So let's do a quick walk around of the vehicle. So keeping on the front of the vehicle, this particular vehicle has the upgraded multi-beam headlights, otherwise known as matrix LED lights. The Audi A3 Edition 1, which was the car that I reviewed last, also had the matrix lights. It's not particularly clear, because the one thing that I found of this car is that the inside of the headlights sort of hur up a bit, apart from the bit where obviously you've got the daytime light and the main headlight, which comes on automatically there. But basically, for those who don't know how the Mercedes multi-beam works, so in these two clusters of lights here, you've got a matrix, a grid of LEDs, and what that does is it can leave your full beams on, but it will blank part of those beams to avoid dazzling oncoming drivers. It's a really clever system. I said the Audi that I had in my last video had that system as well. This system is on here as well. If you do a lot of nighttime driving, these are the lights that you need. It's all automatic, and it just gives you that greater view ahead, being able to light up the road ahead without having to dazzle other people. This also has the dynamic low beam as well. So if you look in here, or the cornering function, you see this little, wait for it to focus, that little bit in there. So when you turn the steering wheel left or right, this will illuminate here, illuminating the space left and right, so you can have a nice view of the road. Easy to highlight any pedestrians crossing or any other hazards in the dark there as well. Apart from that, it is Mercedes A-Class AMG as usual. You've got a nice bonnet design on there, the nice proper AMG badging on the front, and of course you bear the AMG name badge on the grille there as well. Big Mercedes logo with the front camera on there. This model that I've got here has the 360-degree camera system on there. More on that when I get to the interior of the car. Black rims, I've already forgotten what inch they are. I believe they're 19s on there, but you get this as part of the black pack on there. So you've got some nice black AMG wheels, AMG vented and cross-drilled discs, and you get massive AMG silver calipers on there. I believe they're a 4, maybe even a 6-pot on there. Turbo 4matic, so this has a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, producing just over 300 horsepower, which is just enough to enjoy yourself. As you say, you got turbo 4matic on there. 4matic is Mercedes' way of basically saying this is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. More black around the edge. You've got the black wing mirrors, you've got the black top of the roof. This is the panoramic roof. This has got the panoramic option on there. Nice chrome silver door handles going along there. Same again, you've got full discs all round, slightly smaller rear caliper like you get on most cars. You've still got the vented cross drilled discs on the back there. Fuel filler cap, that's on there. Petrol vehicle obviously. Then you get to the back, and again, not much has changed, if anything actually, since the pre-facelift model. As I said, it's still based on the modern, the newest shape of the A-Class. This is the A35, so you get twin exhausts. If you're to go one up to get the king of the A-Class, then the A45, that has quad exhausts, but this one has the twin exhaust system with the black tailpipes, all part of the black pack, the black lower splitters and diffusers on there, which do look really good. So at the back of the car there, you bear your AMG badge, of course, A35 on there, and you got your nice black spoiler. Again, that looks really nice with the red on there. Nice black spoiler. That is an option, but if you're, if you've got the money to fork out on one of these anyway, you've got enough spare to put the spoilers on. It just makes the car look so much more angry. If you didn't have the spoiler, then you just get the body coloured small roof spoiler there. Again, some more sort of black vents. I don't think that actually goes anywhere, no, but that's a nice little view on there. The rear camera on this, so on the old car, I believe it came somewhere out the badge, or it was somewhere here, and you get all road grime over it. In here, it's actually, where is it? It pops in and out here, which is quite cool, so you don't get it all covered in dirt. So that's pretty cool. I do apologise how dirty the car is. It's been, well, the roads have been horrible, pretty much. Obviously it's the same again on the other side, same business. And we come back to the front of the car. So that's the exterior of the car, guys. What I'm going to do now is go into the interior, obviously what my videos are known for. Just while I'm here, also wanted to say a massive thank you to Mercedes UK for the loan of this vehicle. Be sure to check out their website. So without further ado, let's get into the interior. Right guys, so we are now inside the vehicle. This is how you will be presented when you get into the vehicle. You've got your straight on driver's display there of your digital dials. It's a full digital infotainment and dial system in this. Same with any A-Class in the range. You do get digital dials as standard in all the A-Class range, and then obviously you have your infotainment system on the central screen there. Really nice interior. There's lots of nice shiny black, which works really well. In the facelifted A-Class, you do get their newest version of the steering wheel. Slightly different shape, but a really nice shape, and you get the sort of the touch haptic buttons on here, which means you sort of press them and sort of don't. You can still press them, or you can sort of swipe your finger over them, so it's like a little mini, like, sort of touch screen. Just sort of move the camera over here. It's, other than that, it's A-Class as usual. You've got your 3 main vents. Down here you've got all your controls for your climate. It's got dual zone climate here as well, so your passenger can be one temperature, you can be a different temperature, which is very nice indeed. A nice simple center console on here. On the facelifted A-Class, you don't have the trackpad down here. Instead you get this little sort of gripped tray down here. That's actually very handy. I always put the key in there and it doesn't all slide about, or you can put it, this opens here, excuse the mess, and the Sainsbury's vouchers, you get your cup holders in there, and my glasses, got some more storage down there. You can put your key in there as well. But yes, on the facelifted A-Class, you don't get that trackpad. It's all on the screen now. On the previous version, you could touch the screen or use a trackpad, but on here it's screen only. Some people like that, some people don't. As I said, this isn't really a review video, it's more of a tutorial and point of view, getting to know the vehicle. I find it fine. Also down here you have your volume control, up for up, down for down. Press it as well, you can mute your audio. You've got your parking camera here, which I shall show you all the parking in a minute, and you've got your dynamic there, which takes you to your dynamic driving controls. Storage, this is all leather here, all storage. Press that little button, butterfly doors open. You've got some quite deep storage in there actually, and you get 2 USB-C charging points in there. This has got all the leather pack in it, so you get nice leather seats on here. These are the AMG seats, and it is AMG business as usual in the back of the seats there. All nice black leather. You got your mood lighting in the back there as well. It's a little bit too light to show you that fully, although by the time I get to that segment in the video, we might be able to see the ambient lighting, let's say, a little bit more clearly. So let's get focused and give you a little tour of what's what. Right guys, so we're going to start off with your digital driver's display, and this is this screen here just behind the steering wheel. So let's move in, let's give you a nice little look. So yes, this is your default screen. This is what will greet you every time you get into the car. This may look familiar to fellow Mercedes owners. So this is the default screen which they use in all of the A-Class models now actually, because obviously all the A-Classes you do now get digital screens as standard, which again in my opinion just gives that car a little bit more of a premium feel compared to analog dials. Same as always, miles an hour on the left, revs on the right. Because this is the AMG version of the A-Class, so you do get AMG, some wording on there, and then you get other information like your miles, your fuel gauge, that's all on there. There's not too many numbers showing at the moment because the engine's off. When the engine's on, you do get a few more numbers appear. We can go that through a little bit later on if we have time in the video. In the very middle there, you see you've got some trip data. This car's only done about 660 miles since new. I said this is a demonstrator car, so it's only been driven on short distances. You'll see that the miles per gallon is 24.4 miles per gallon. I haven't got too much experience driving high-powered cars, so I mean this has got a twin-turbo 4-cylinder engine. Is that good for 4-cylinder engine? Is that bad for a 4-cylinder engine? Let me know in the comments if you're more used to driving, a twin turbo 4-cylinder car. As you can see, hours. So that's the engine hours. How many hours the car's been on? Again, 660 miles. It hasn't got a lot on there. If you were to do a lot of sort of motorway driving, then you probably see more, a better miles per gallon. But again, this is a demonstrator car. People who test drive these cars, they don't always go on motorway runs or long A road runs to average that out. You can scroll through that central information by using these buttons on here. So these are the touch sensitive haptic buttons that I mentioned earlier on. To scroll through that information, you run your finger sort of up or down like that, and as you can see, when I do that, you get various pieces of information on there. Eco display, so this lets you know what your driving style's like, how economical you're being. The more green there is, the better you're doing. The more blue, sort of the worse you're doing. Again, this is an AMG car. You don't buy this to be very economical, but it just gives you some tips to make sure you can get the most economy out of your vehicle, pretty much. Scrolling down again, got your consumption. This is your live consumption on there, so that will tell you what your consumption is if you've got your aircon on, your heated seats, so you can make little changes to your driving style just to improve your miles per gallon a little bit, which is quite a handy feature. Scrolling down again, attention assistant, at the moment that's not active, but on this vehicle that just monitors you, and the car will give you various little prompts if the car thinks you're getting tired. On long journeys, for example, it will do little things just to make sure that you are still fully alert, and it will recommend actions to take if it thinks you're getting a little bit drowsy or you're not paying too much attention. Media controls, so at the moment I've got no device connected, but if you've got a Bluetooth device connected or a USB, or you've got your radio on, that will appear in the middle, and you can scroll through songs, or you can scroll through radio stations on there. And we go and you got your sat nav screen on there. So you could have your sat nav on your infotainment screen on there, but you know, yes, it's not far to look there and there, but you know, when you're meant to be looking that way, you know, it's safer to glance like that rather than it is to sort of go like that. When I have the sat nav on, I do have it on this middle screen here, because I think it's a lot safer to have it on there. But each to their own. Scroll down again, and yes, that takes you back to your main screen that has your oil temperatures, your you know, for your gearbox and your engine. You're not stuck with this display. You can change between displays. You can do that by pressing this home button here. So you press that, and then you get a whole wad of displays on here. So we're going to start all the way from the left. This is your Super Sport, and you get this on the AMG Performance cars. So on the left this time, and the right actually, you have your revs. So when you increase the rev range, these little bits here sort of go outwards, so it sort of pulses outwards, which is quite cool. You still got your speed at the top, digital speed, so that's your Super Sport dial on there. You've got your normal sports dials on there. You do get this one on the AMG line models as well. This one isn't exclusive to pure blood AMG vehicles. Again, on here, on the left, you get your newton meters of torque gauge. On the right, you've got your horsepower on there, and then on the furthest left and right left, you've got your temperatures. Right, it will tell you what different position your gearbox, your engine, your suspension is all in. Sport, comfort, Sport Plus. Just to give you a little bit of a reminder on there. When you are driving, and you know, when the engine is actually on, you do get some more information on there. Because the engine's off at the moment, it looks quite bare. Press home again, scroll across. That's your classic look. That's what I've just been through with you. Understated. So for those who like a very minimalist dashboard, this is the one for you. This has, for those who have watched my Mercedes C-Class video, there's a very nice demonstration on there of this. It's for those who have seen videos of Range Rovers, this is very much how Range Rover do their dials. When you accelerate through the revs and the speed, more parts of the dial become exposed. So at the moment, obviously we're not going anywhere and the engine's off. There's no revs, there's no speed. We're only seeing up to about 20 miles an hour visible on there, and on the right we've only got what, 1,100 RPM on there. When you increase, that does then show the rest of the range. It's quite clever. Again, it's a very minimalist dash. It works for some, doesn't work for some, but again, each their own. I quite like it. You got a nice sort of background on there, a nice sort of northern lights effect on the back as well. When you do put that in that mode, you do get sort of a minimalist sort of backdrop on your infotainment screen there. And then, oh, sorry guys, this wasn't actually planned in the video, but I've just seen you can actually change your backgrounds on here on this particular setting. All I did for that is I pressed OK, and then swiping my finger up and down, you can change your change sort of what colour you want your little northern light effect. That's quite cool. That wasn't planned, but now we know that that can do that. I'm quite impressed. Press the home button again. This is your full screen navigation. So there's no rev dials on this, but you know, if you're driving an automatic car, do you really need to know your revs? You know, you can listen to the tone of the engine. You know, most people know when to change gear by the tone of the engine. But yeah, this is your full screen maps. If you want, you know, the full screen map experience, and you get the whole map on there. Quite handy if you want a more sort of advanced look further down the road, which I quite like as well. You know, even if I'm not using the sat nav, it's quite nice to have this on, because you know, if you run into some unplanned traffic, it's you know, if you do run into traffic, then you can sort of
look quite far ahead, and you can sort of plan some routes to try and do a few shortcuts, which is quite handy. Press OK, press the home button again, scroll across your assistants. So this will display all of your assistant systems and whether they're active and engaged and what they're doing. On this screen you do get your A class in the middle. This is the A35, so it's got twin pipes, but it's showing a picture of the A45. But that's fine because it's identified by the quad tailpipes on there. This middle bit on here, that long stretch of road, so that's your lane assist keeping system on there. When that is active, these bits here will go green to show that the system's active. Both hands have to be on the steering wheel for that to be active. If they're not, it means that you're driving on a road with very faint markings or no markings and the system isn't active. Other systems like your blind spot assist, that will all show up in various bits there, but obviously again I'm not actually demonstrating the vehicle in motion today, but I'm sure there's other videos on YouTube which will show that. We press it again, scroll across, and then service. So this here displays all of your service, well, your vital service information. So you can scroll through things. Again, that's got all your temperatures on there. Can we do a lot else? Oh, you have your tyre pressures on there. Obviously the vehicle's off, so there's nothing on there at the moment. But yeah, just if you want some quick sort of quick reference what your levels are, then that is the screen to go to. Only other thing, this particular vehicle has heads-up display as well, so when I click home again, you'll see at the top here you've got some more options here. I don't know if the camera can pick this up. Oh, actually, I think it does. Right in the it's like a rainbow. The closer you get, it doesn't do any, but there we go. This bit here, you can just about see it. So there you've got your speed in miles an hour, and then on this bit you've got sort of your racing, sort of curved horizontal rev counter. If I can't really zoom. Anyway, we'll have to make do. To scroll through those options again, because you can change what is shown on there. So press the home button, then this time you want to swipe up, and this will give you what is displayed on your head-up display. So we've got race, your curved horizontal race rev counter there. You've got your super sport setting on there. That's similar to the super sport screen that I showed you on here, where the revs sort of pulse outwards like that, which is quite cool. Standard, so that is purely just your speed, and then it will show you whether your cruise control's on, your limiter's on. Minimal, that is purely just speed. Eco display, wrong way. Eco display, so again you can have what's on here on your windscreen, and then that's just your settings, so you can change the height and the brightness of your heads-up display. You don't have to have the heads-up display on, you can just easily turn it off. I have it on. It's quite nice. Again, you know, you can have information where your eyes are rather than having to sort of glance down like that, which is very handy. And again, it's just something for me, it's something that just makes the car look and feel that little bit more premium. That is everything to do with the, let's go back to the classic mode. That's everything to do with your virtual digital driver's display. Next up, we shall go through the main infotainment screen. Right guys, so this is your central infotainment screen. This is where you control pretty much nearly all the features of the vehicle. It is a touch screen because, as mentioned earlier in the video, you don't get the touchpad in this thing anymore. It is only controlled via the touchscreen, or you can control it if you're on the move. You can control it via the left top part of the steering wheel here. So you've got your back button, your home button, and you're swiping up, down, left, right,
and then press for OK. You can control it on there as well. When you turn the vehicle on, as I said, that is your default screen. You get your navigation, phone and radio. We'll just go through what we've got there. So your navigation is Mercedes' own system, their MBUX system. It's quite a nice system. You've got some little sort of things like lane guidance and things on there, similar to Google Maps. So, you know, especially for me, I quite like that lane guidance, because if I'm driving in an area that I don't know, then I come to a junction or a roundabout that has like 900 lanes. It's, you know, it's quite hard to, you know, sort of plan your route around there. So the lane guidance definitely helps. That's your system on there. Where to, obviously you put your destination in there. You can do it so it shows up things like filling stations, car parks, various relevant information on there as well. To go back, you can either press the little home button on the screen there, or you can press the little back button on the steering wheel. Phone, my phone's not connected at the moment, but when you go onto your phone, you can connect it via Bluetooth. Then you can get all your phone book, your contacts, you can see all your messages, make calls, obviously via your buttons on there. Or you can also play all your music via your phone as well. On the topic of phones, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. I quite like using Android Auto. I've got an Android phone. I haven't used the Android system on this particular car during this particular loan period, only because I haven't needed it. But you know, if you want to use your own media system, then you can use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. On their radio as well, it's a digital DAB radio, so you can scroll through all your different stations on there. Oh, there we go. It's default to Kiss Street at the moment, and you can scroll through all your stations on there. You've got tons of stations. I'll just make sure I turn the volume down. Heart Suffolk. Yeah, don't want that in a moment, so we'll go back. We'll go back. There we go. Swiping across. There we go. As I said, media. So if your device is connected, when you press media, you've got all your songs on there. You can skip songs, fast forward, rewind. If you've got USB connected as well, press USB, and then all your USB files will appear on there. Apps. So we go on there. You've got your Mercedes Me app. Again, which is like your individual profiles for your car. You've got a web browser, which only works if your car is connected to a 4G or 5G network via your mobile phone. License information, so that's all about any sort of vehicle licenses, things. For example, you can buy various features for the car, similar to how you can sort of buy features for Audi. And if you've seen my Audi video of the A3, check that out. That's got a few little nice things in there about that. And your gallery, so you can save images to your car, and you can use them as things like backgrounds for your car. I won't click on it because there's no images saved on this car. But that's quite a nice feature to have, just to sort of personalise your infotainment system that little bit more comfort. So you press that, you come to Seat Kinetics, and again, if you saw my Mercedes C-Class video, we did touch on this. So Seat Kinetics, we press Seat Kinetics. A lot of people think that this is your massage function. It's not. If your car does have a massage function, it will appear on here. This particular car doesn't have a massage function. What it does have, though, is Seat Kinetics. When you turn it on, I'll turn it on now, the electric seats monitor your driving position, and it will make subtle little changes to the seat, backs, forwards, up, down, seat reclining forwards and back, just to make sure that you are always in the optimum driving position and you're always comfortable. It's also used also as part of the driver alert system. Those little movements as well, just sort of, you know, give the drivers a little sort of gentle hint, you know, just to make sure that they are still obviously awake and functioning, let's say. If you go onto the settings, you can put your program length, so how long you want that to last. I don't know why you can't do it for as long as the vehicle is on, and it's very specific lengths: 16 minutes, 32 minutes, or 96 minutes. And you can't set custom minutes either. You have to do one of the presets. You can set it to backrest and seat surface, or one or the other, by swiping those little swipey things on there. That's everything for your seat kinetics. Ambient lighting is also on this here. So now it is actually getting darker. If I turn the lights, there we go. You can see at the moment I've got the lights pulsing various different colours. So you get your main light in there, then you get it all across your sort of door panels there. You get it in your vents. It's also sort of projected down there, and you can see it's also all on there. It's on my door there, and it is also, if I turn the lights off in the back, it's also in there. To control your ambient lighting, onto colour, your monochrome, so it has 63 different colours that you can choose from if you just want one solid colour. So at the moment it's on blue. Let's say, I don't know, I wanted a nice sort of a yellowy colour, I can have it on yellow. If I want it red, which looks quite mean, you can have it on red on there. I don't know, pink, maybe like pink or purpley. You can have it nice pink and purple. If you want it a combination of different colours, you go on to multicolour, and you get a whole load of sort of preset colours on here. I've had it on sort of going between blue and yellow, and that sort of swaps between the two on there, so you get blue and yellow, which is quite nice. As I said, there's loads of it on there. You can have it sort of different shades of blue, 50 shades of blue. What's that? That's like a orangey, pinky, green, different sort of. That's quite nice actually. It's nice sort of alien-y, different greens on there. I'm going to have it back on the blue and yellow. I quite like that, or the blue and orange now actually. That looks quite nice. Brightness, obviously it's on full brightness, but you can change what parts of the car or what brightness by moving these dials on here. Link zones just means that if your front's on full brightness, your back's on full brightness. And effects, so this is moving a bit there. So greetings, so when you open the car, you'll get sort of like an ambient light, let's say like a light show basically. It's only very subtle, it's not all blah 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 blah. It's you know, it's just a nice little greeting when you get into the car. Climate, so when you increase the temperature, the dials here, they'll glow red. When you decrease the temperature, they'll go blue, which is very nice. And then multicolour animation. What's going to change in this? Yes. So again, so that is part of your sort of your. I mean, you can, if the camera actually focuses, there we go. You can sort of see it doing now. It's changing between different shades of blue and orange on this, and yellow in this particular colour scheme that I have it in now. And then here you get a little visual of what the car's actually doing on there as well, which is also quite cool. We go back. I'll use the button on the steering wheel to go back. We scroll across. AMG performance. Now, this is an AMG car, so you get, you will get, if I turn the vehicle on, some dials. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the vehicle on. So I'm going to put the windows up as well. So turn the vehicle on, foot on the brake, and then just press the start button. There we go. I'm doing a quiet start. Lovely. So on here you've got your vehicle information. You've got your suspension on there, telling you sort of what mode your suspension is. When you turn the steering wheel, you can see, if we can see that, there you go, it tells you what angle your steering is at. If I put my foot on the brake lights come on the little diagram. If I rev, does it? I don't do anything rev. At the moment I'm in comfort mode. I'll show you how to change modes in a minute. Engine, so this is what I quite like. So this is
your nice little display of your Newton meters and your horsepower there. So when I rev the engine, you can see it's like one of those heart machines you see in like Casualty and all that, when you rev the engine, which is quite nice. Again, it tells you now that the engine's actually running. You've got some temperature data on the bottom left and the bottom right there. IWC, can't remember what that stands for, but that is basically like a lap timer, which you can control on there. It's nice how they've done it on an actual proper like watch face rather than just a digital timer. That's quite a nice touch. And then consumption, so that again, that is your fuel consumption on there. At the moment it's showing my fuel consumption over the past 3 hours, and again, because I haven't been doing any long journeys, it's been really short journeys, admittedly, you know, maybe put my foot down a little bit, you know, because it is an AMG car. 23.3 miles to the gallon on there. You will get a graph when you've had the vehicle on per cycle, let's say, to see, you know, where you got your best miles to the gallon on there. And yeah, that is basically all of your AMG driver's displays on there. Oh, if I press this bottom one here, you get a G reading on there as well. While I'm on this screen, as I said, I'm in comfort mode at the moment. There's different ways of changing what mode you're in. The easiest way, I'd say, is on the steering wheel, and I love this. So on the left you have two little dials here. Let's turn the lights back on. I don't know if the camera can focus on that. So on the left you've got this little tiny round screen on here, which you can activate by pressing these little toggles here. You've got these little cogs here, so that is your gearbox setting. Can't remember what D stands for, but that is basically that is your everyday automatic setting on there. Press that, it goes red. That is your full manual gearbox, but I'm going to leave that in normal a moment. AMG Dynamics, so what that does is basically just firms up the you know, the suspension, the dampers, just makes the car a little bit more what's the word, I don't know, just makes it feel a little bit more solid, let's say, on the road. On the right, this is your main driving mode. So at the moment it's on comfort. If I turn, I can twist this dial all the way to the left. So I've got an ice mode, and when you do that, you get that little gear cut. So I'm on ice mode at the moment. Basically, ice mode, what that does is, if I go back to that screen, when you turn the dial, that screen there automatically comes up. So ice mode, basically you've got reduced engine power, so you don't spin the wheels. The suspension's in comfort, and your dynamics are all in basic, pretty much comfort as well. You've got I, which is in purple, for individual. So you can, I don't know why the screen keeps going off. You can swipe between what you want your gearbox, your suspension, and your engine on there. Move it across again. So comfort. Comfort is what will appear every time you start the car. Sport mode, so that again firms everything up, gives you a little bit more sort of power from the engine. And then Sport Plus. What Sport Plus does, I'm not sure if you can hear that. The exhaust note has deepened. You've now got, this is now full-on pure blood AMG dynamics. So you've got the sportiest, firmest suspension, the most power available from the engine, and the most sort of racy dynamic setup from your dynamic settings on there. And again, it says S Plus on there. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to put it back into comfort, purely because that quietens the exhaust and just makes this audio on the video a little bit better. Let's turn those back off. So that's your screen on there. Let's go back. Vehicle settings. So this is where, well, you control all of your vehicle settings. You've got your assistance systems on there first. So collision avoidance, active brake assist. So what that will do, if you're getting a little bit too close to a vehicle, or if you're getting too close to an obstruction, and the car doesn't think you're going to brake, the car will brake for you. Whether that is braking, well, I say whether that will brake it enough to slow you down, or that will brake it enough for you to stop. Active lane keeping systems, that's what I briefly talked about earlier on the central digital driver's display. That will keep you in your lane by giving a little bit of steering assistance. It won't correct you fully, and again, you need both hands on the wheel for that to actually work, but that will just give you that little bit more input just to make sure you are in the middle of your lane. Your blind spot assist, so that is what is in your mirrors. So it's not on there at the if I put my indicator on, does it do it? No. So when there's a car coming in your blind spot, in that bit of the corner mirror there, you'll get a red triangle, and that means that it is not safe for you to either change lane, to pull out of a space, because there is a vehicle in your blind spot. As you can see, that is the area. Oh, that is the area. So that is the area which that monitors. More assistance setting on there. So your speed limit assist, what that does, in where the rear view mirror is facing into the road, there's a camera, and that camera scans the road ahead, and it will pick up road signs and speed signs, and then what that will do, that will take that information and it will display that on your screen on there. At the moment, the last sign that I passed said 60 miles an hour, and that hasn't changed yet, even though I'm in the middle of a field. And that will also display on your heads-up display in there as well. That all then can link to your speed limiter. If I press the reset and that little sort of eye symbol on there, if I press that, it will automatically set the speed limiter to the speed that the last sign showed you, which is quite a handy feature. Traffic light view, so what that does, that will again use the camera in the top. If you're behind cars, or if you've pulled up quite close to the light, to the point where you can't actually see the light, that will use the camera to then give you a view sort of above your head, so you can see the traffic light, and that will be displayed in here, which is quite a good feature. Your attention assist, again, I've been through that. That just that basically just to make sure that you are still awake. There were some extra settings on there. Yeah, so on here, so your speed limit warning, that will flash this little thing here, just to say that you are going over the speed limit. At the moment, that will be visual, visual and audible. So that flashes as normal, and you get a little bong from the car to say that you're going over the speed limit. So that is that on there. Camera. So I said, this has a 360-degree camera system, which we'll show you fully in a moment. This is also quite clever. This has a GPS-based camera system on here. So what that does, you can, let's say at home, sometimes you have to park outside next to the curb. You can open up GPS-based activation. I won't open it now because it's still got some personal information on there. But when you press that, you can save the cars. But so say I'm parked outside my house next to the curb. I'm going to have to park my car in the road next to the curb. I press that, put the data in. Oh, I don't want that to. There we go. Yeah, sometimes if you've got the engine running for so long when you're stationary, it will then shut the engine down automatically to save fuel. Where was I? Yes, so I'm parked outside the house. I press that, I put the information in, and then what that would do, every time I pull up in that space, the cameras, the 360-degree camera will come up, and that will give me a very good view of the curb next to me, so I don't curb my wheels or make sure that I'm not leaving a bus-sized gap between me and the footpath. I have taken a photo actually of how that works, and I shall try and include that in this video, either now or at the end of the video with a little annotation on there just to show what that is. If you haven't seen it already, it's going to be near the end. Open the camera cover. So what that does, in that little section there, the camera pops out, which is quite nice. It means it doesn't get dirty, covered in road grime. You can just force it open if you need to force it open. Parking. Warning tones. So again, this has got full 360-degree parking sensors on there. That just tells you, you can set how loud you want the tones, whether you want it to sort of fade in and out, how sort of early on you want your warning. Maneuvering assistance. So this car can park itself, and I've done a video of this, and what I'll probably do, I shall include it at the end of the video, and I'll just do some miscellaneous videos with some annotations of bits that I've mentioned throughout the video, just as like a little bank of cool things. So this car does park itself using the cameras and the sensors in the car. It only does it if the markings are clear, and I found it only does it in daylight. It gets very confused at night. So some settings on here. Drive away assist. So when you're pulling out of a space, that will give you a little bit. That will give you a little bit of assistance with your brakes. It will pull out of a space very slowly as well. So creep and peep. It will creep and peep for you. Warning for crossing traffic behind. So if you are reversing out, that is basically just your side sensors saying that don't pull out. There's a car coming. And close range braking. So when the car is parking by itself, if it detects an obstacle, it will suddenly brake the car for you to prevent you crashing into whatever it is you're about to crash into. That is it for parking. Have I got anything on there? No, there's everything on there. Vehicle. So this is your main vehicle settings. Driving. On here you can see winter tyre limit. So obviously different temperatures during the day, whether it's summer or winter, will mean you might have to have different temperatures, different pressures in your tyres, and you can set all that information in there, which then links to the tyre pressure monitoring system there, and you can set it up. I'm not massive on tyre pressures, so I'm not going to go too much more into that. Automatic filling station search. When the low fuel light comes on, the sat nav will automatically come on and search for your nearest filling station. Car wash mode. This is quite an interesting one. So obviously when you go into a car wash, they say, make sure, for example, like your mirrors are folded in, make sure you're in neutral, blah blah blah. What this does is basically do all that for you. So you press the car wash mode, and basically what it'll do, it will fold your mirrors in, it will make sure your windows and your panoramic roof are closed, make sure that your windscreen wipers sensors are off, and the rear ones are off as well, so you don't have that all going in there as well. And it also gives you a maximum sort of recommended speed going through a car wash as well, which is quite cool. But I won't activate that because we're not sorry, keep slipping off my little mount. We won't be going through that today because we're not going through a car wash. That is driving comfort. So easy entry and exit features. So what that does, when you turn the vehicle off and you open the door, your seat will recline, not the back, but your seat will move backwards so that you can more easily get out of the car. So for example, if your driving position is with your knees sort of quite into the steering wheel, we're quite far forward, you can't then easily get out the car. This is a good feature. So when you turn everything off, the seat will recline, you can get out the car a little bit more easily, and that just that setting there just tells you whether you want it on or off. Sun blinds, that's just a digital method of opening your sun blind. Otherwise your control for it is up here, if it focuses. Just while here, to open your blind, just hold that, but push that back, and then that opens there. We'll go back on there. Open and
close, vehicle protection. So this is that's to do with your alarms. So when obviously you're not in the vehicle and you lock the vehicle, this just sets it so that you've got the sensor interior of your vehicle. So if you've left something in your car, like a child or a passenger, the alarm will sound to let them know that you've actually left them in there. Towaway protection. What that does, if the car detects being elevated to be towed, the alarm will sound. Excuse me. Automatic locking. So when the car's in motion, over I think it's 10 miles an hour, the doors will automatically lock, and that will prevent anyone running up to the car and, like GTA, trying to open a door, grab you out of it. Also stops accidental opening of doors whilst you're driving. Yes, this car's got child locks on it, but that's just an extra bit of protection on there. Acoustic lock, so that's off at the moment, but when you lock the car, that will just do a very, very quick beep of the horn, beep beep, just to give you an audible warning that the car is locked. And automatic mirror fold, so when you lock the car, mirrors will fold in. Dynamic select, this is a shortcut to your dynamic settings, which I showed you earlier. So you can set it, your drive to sport or whatnot. It gives you a little diagram of the car there of what that particular part does, which is quite cool. That is everything on vehicle. Lights, so I said this has the upgraded top of the range multi-beam LED headlights. Basically, like I said, that there turns it on or off. I don't know if you're able to see, obviously now the automatic lights have come on. I'm going to move the camera there, I'm going to turn the steering wheel left. You might have seen that area there has now become lit, and that's what I showed you earlier on with the lights that can illuminate sort of left and right. If I do that side now, if I turn the steering wheel the other way, there you go, might have just seen it there. So that's quite functional. That's to do with all that as well. You will know if your multi beams are turned on by this little dial here. This little light diagram there. A means in automatic, so when you're on a nice bit of road, the full beams will come on, and they will then adjust to the road, adjust to the oncoming traffic. So you can have your full beams on all the time, and it will adjust the beam pattern, and it will blank out various parts of the beam so you don't start blinding other people. The full beams are quite good on this car. I can force them on like that, which is, you know, they are pretty decent. Lights up the entire butt of the field over there. Interior and exterior lighting. So on there, all the lights will come on. Locator lighting, so on the top there, that turns on the your daytime running lights and your puddle lights on there. So if it is dark in a car park space, those lights will activate. Interior lighting delayed switch off, so you can, when you start the engine and start moving, you can set that to how many seconds you want for the lights to stay on. Same if you exit the vehicle, you know, the interior lights might want to stay on for whatever reason. And then exterior lighting delay, so again, if you park your car on the drive, you set the time on there for how long you want the headlights to stay on, just so you can sort of see, for example, going up your driveway. Ambient lighting, again, that's just a shortcut to your ambient lighting, which I showed you earlier. System, so this is all your very different systems. So intelligent system, hey Mercedes, hang on, I was going to say hey Mercedes. Every time I say, well, even say Mercedes, the system goes, hi, how can I help? I'm going to turn that off so I can say Mercedes without being interrupted. Hey Mercedes is basically like Siri for your car. You can control a lot from the voice assistant, and not only can you control your phone, like call mum, call dad. For example, you can say things as intelligent as, my passenger is cold. It will
and I actually tried that earlier on, it increased the temperature on the passenger side, but it left my temperature on the driver's side as it was. So it can be very intelligent. You can do things like turn your 4 beams on, open the sunroof, lock and unlock the car. It's a very intelligent system. I've had no problems with it so far in terms of not recognizing words. There has been, as I said, there's been a few times where any word that sounds like Mercedes, it sort of comes on. I'm not sure if you can actually change the sensitivity of that, but you know, I've had no sort of horror stories using this system. Online recognition, content upload. Personally not sure what that bit is. Productivity. In certain situations, the voice assistant will be active even without directly addressed. Okay, yeah, so the system might assume that you might need to know something, or if you're stuck with something, then it might also actually come on and ask if you need help with anything. Interior assistant. Here we go. Yeah, so the bottom one there, light. So what I found is if I, so at the moment my light, reading light is on, and you can see the passenger light isn't. I found if I put my hand over to the passenger side, passenger light comes on. If I move it away, it turns off. On, off, on, off. Like when you move your hand, it's, for example, I mean, I don't know, if you put something on your, like if you've got something in that door bin over there, you need to reach over, the light will come on so you can see it, which is quite cool. We'll go back on there. Displays and messages, so you can change the brightness of your screens on there. You can turn the screens on or off completely. Not that screen there because you've got your dials on there. Graphic goodies. I'll change it a bit. Oh, okay. So yeah. So if you've got like your Mercedes Me, like your profile for your car, if it's your birthday, then there's certain graphics that will appear. I haven't experienced this yet, but I've read that is what happens. You get a little sort of custom. Basically, it's your car telling it that it loves you. Basically, units you can change between kilometers and miles. Obviously, some foreign countries use kilometers an hour. In the UK here we use miles an hour, so we have it on miles on there. Language settings, you control all your language for your car. Keyboards and handwriting, so obviously for your keyboard you have to type, like you can type in your destinations for your sat nav, so you can set, you know, what sort of keyboard you have. Control elements, so here we go. Yeah, AMG steering wheel button. So here you can customize this bit here. You can customize as to what you actually want in these bits here, and you can do that by using the screen or by actually clicking this bit here. So for example, at the moment I've got AMG dynamics and the gearbox setting on there, but if I press that, I can have the traction control, I can have the auto stop start or AMG dynamics on that bit. On the top I can have it in gearbox, stop start, traction control, or suspension. At the moment it's in comfort, but I can have it in sport or sport plus, so I can cycle through on there. Alternatively, I believe you can, yeah, you can, so for example I want to change the bottom one, I can scroll through and it will change on there. I go back, audio, greeting tone. So when you get into the vehicle for the first time, like every cycle, let's say, you get into the vehicle, when you shut the door, the screens turn on, you get a nice AMG logo here and a nice sort of welcome tone on there, which comes up. Parktronic, what's that? Warning tones. Oh yes, yes. So your Parktronic is your is all your sensors for your parking. Phone settings, yeah, so how loud you want your phone, and your voice output, so how long you want the, you know, how loud you want the voice. and then information, so you can have a digital version of your owner's manual. System information, that just tells you things like, you know, your Bluetooth address, your Wi-Fi address, and then legal, you know, all your license information on there as well. As far as that goes, that is everything in your vehicle settings. Smartphone, that is basically your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto. When you connect your phone, every time it'll ask you if you want to start Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, or you can force start it in there when your phone obviously is connected. As far as that goes, guys, that is everything on that system there. I've only on that. Yeah, it's a very, very nice system. The graphics are amazing. They're nice and sharp. The screens are big enough, and it's a very nice place to be in the interior. Just going down, you do still have, for your climate controls, you do still have physical buttons which you just control by pushing. So for your temperature ones, push it up to increase the temperature, and there we go. Look, now I'm increasing the temperature. The ambient lighting's going red. As I decrease it, it's going blue, which is quite good. Automatic mode on there, so you've got auto climate controls, so you know the car will detect if you're steaming up and it will adjust temperature controls accordingly. That will do the same for any information on there. Your hazards are down here as well, so you press that down and your hazards come on there. And yeah, that is everything on there. So guys, so I said I'll show you the camera system on this car. It is a 360-degree camera system. So when you put it into reverse, the cameras automatically come on there. So to put it in reverse, let's put my foot on the brake. Let's put the lights back on here so we can actually see what we're doing. On Mercedes, your gear lever thing, if I can get the angle right, is, if I tilt the steering wheel, on the right stalk there. So I foot on the brake, move that up, and as you can see there, your screen, your screens now come on there. You've got your main reversing screen on the big one there, and then you've got a bird's eye view screen on there. That's very clever. That utilizes all the camera feeds from the front, the back, the left, the right of the vehicle, and it uses artificial intelligence to then create, as best as possible, a bird's eye view of your car to give you, you know, which is handy to see, to make sure you're within the lines. That's a very, very clever feature on there. Let me put it back into park so I can take my foot off the brake. To force start the cameras, just press this little camera system down there, and then that will force start your cameras. That's your default screen. That's what will happen when your cameras come on. You can change what camera angle you want though by using this little selector here. So if I want to view the right side of the car, I can see the right side of the car, and it's really clever how the AI works to give you. So I use this if I'm parking next to a curb. I use this to make sure I don't curb my wheels. Same again with the other side of the vehicle, and then you can do a back only view, a front only view, and then P. So this is your park by itself function, and I must stress that this does not take away the human input, which is still required. You still need to check your surroundings, you still need to have your hands near the steering wheel just in case, and you have to have your foot at least touching the brake, ready to brake. It will not take away the human factor, but it will make it a hell of a lot easier to park. When you're, for example, you just head to the supermarket car park, you're driving along, initiate your camera system, press little P, and as you drive past car park spaces, it will scan both sides of the car for an appropriate space. If the car thinks it's found a car parking space, a little P will come up in there. It will bong to tell you that I found a space and it can park in there. You stop the car, select the space, press the P camera button again, and then you follow the instructions on the screen. You take your foot off the brake, and then the steering wheel will do all of its magic stuff for you. As I said, I'll put a video at the end of the main bit of this video today with a little bit of annotation just to show you how that works. But for now, guys, I'll just go back to the main screen. I think I have shown you everything there is for this vehicle. This is the AMG line premium, which means your seat controls are on your door sides here rather than sort of down the sides. So you've got your back forwards, up, down, and then you've got your backwards and forwards for your seat recline. Heated seats, which are there. That blank bit next to the heated seats, that's for your ventilated seats, but that doesn't have it in this particular one. Your M1, 2 and 3, that is your memory functions, so you can have up to 3 different memory seat functions on there. Handy if you've got different drivers at different heights. Wait for it to focus. You've got your controls for your windows, front and rear, and your door mirrors. Nice large little door bins on there. Obviously same on the other side. You do get lumbar support on these seats, and they are obviously you can't see down there because it's dark, but they are on the side of the seat down there. That is everything, guys. Again, another little back of the interior at the back there. Nice leather, nice amount of legroom on there. So that is everything. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Again, I shall put some more little videos of things that I've talked about that I couldn't demonstrate here and now. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. More videos will be on the way. It is your likes and comments which means that I can take more cars out and demonstrate their features for you. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.